I done forgot because I saw the D.
All right. Hello, chat. How's it going? Hopefully well. We're back, and we're continuing with the Twin Snakes. We're pretty close to being done with this one, actually, and being on to MGS3. All we have is I have that little bit of cleanup with the dog tags, a couple little whoopsies to fix up, and then big boss, and we're done. So today we're cleaning up the dog tags, the mess that I have made by missing like the special ones. That's really about it. It should be a pretty chill one because we're gonna be just blasting through the lower difficulties again to get these cleaned up. Most of these missed tags were on the lower difficulties when we first started the grind, so that's where we gotta go. I forget the skip, like, okay, I got it. I was gonna say the button to skip every time is a struggle for me. How hard do you think Big Boss will be? Not hard. I think there's gonna be like a couple boss fights that I'll die a few times on. Did this say I was on very easy already?
Be careful.
Oops, no, I do want the save menu. I just want to see it. I should have paid more attention. Am I on extreme again? Why am I on extreme again, chat? Hold on, let me go back. Let me reset. Let me go back to the menu, because why am I on extreme? What was I doing? Was I going in reverse order? Was I saying, like, let me do extreme again? Because I think I did miss one on extreme. And then go back to the easier ones? That must be what I was doing. I thought I was going to be on the easy difficulties, cleaning up the two, not one, but two Mantis tags that I missed. Which are both equally painful. I think we need to have an intervention. Yeah, on extreme I missed, wasn't it Meryl's or Johnny's tag? Hold on. It was Meryl's tag that I missed on extreme. Okay. Well, should be solid practice. I got to the Gray Fox fight, through the Gray Fox fight in 30 minutes. So, I was going. I was certainly going. Do I even need anything? Probably not. Oh. We should be good to just fly through, probably. Hello, Groka. I need to set up an intervention with false for the pissing. Oh my god, and we're right at Meryl's tag. I didn't even realize, like, genuinely for a second that we were. But we're right there. So my plan for just saving myself some time on this, we're gonna have to play through extreme. We're gonna have to play through, I guess, very easy. It doesn't matter which one I do, really.
Who is that? Enemy sighted. Request.
But we're gonna have to play through one of them. Do they know? And then I'll go to the Mantis tag, literally grab that, save and quit, and just start the big boss run immediately after that. Because the only benefit to playing the rest of that run out would be keeping it all on one save file, which I don't really care too much about, so long as I just get it all done. I can have like an incomplete, easy difficulty playthrough, as long as I just get it all done. I won't be upset. I did not mean to trigger the full alert. This slows me down a bit. Well, at the very least, I'll get more practice with the couple bosses that do tend to slow me down. Those being the Hind. The Hind D. I wanted to call it the Harrier so bad, I had to stop myself. The Hind and... I mean, none of them are really as bad as the Hind, to be honest. That is the bad one. Is there another bad one? I guess the tank I'm normally not great at. I'm already past that, though. Yeah, really just the Hind. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not worried about anything else. Oh god, Meryl in the sneaking suit is cursed. Still. Alright, come here. Give me that. There we go. And now, because it's old school Metal Gear, Well, hold on.
You called, Snake?
I don't have to finish this playthrough either. I don't have to. I don't think. Hold on. Now, if you'll allow me to give it a quick reset. In the menu, since I just grabbed the tag and saved, it should be there. And I can genuinely, I'm gonna lose out on like stealth camo, but we're doing easy and very easy difficulties to clean up the other tags. So I don't need it. I can start from a clean save and just grab those. And it should all count, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But since the other two are also Mantis, and that takes me like less than an hour to get to from the start of the game. Oh no, they're per save file. That's right. Shit. I thought I was cooking, I was not. I was absolutely not. Oh no. I don't want the mission log. Okay, so we do have to play them out. We do have to play them out. Which is fine, I guess. Get around to Death Stranding someday. I will. I want to. Eventually. Why is there a hole in the ceiling at work? Rain? If you do new game, you have to get everything. Yeah. She was always a furry, for the record. There we go. Jesus, she hurts. I saw a video today on YouTube. Death Stranding 2 is the best MGS game. Isn't Death Stranding 2 like officially coming out today? Doesn't it seem a bit early for statements like that?
Suno, mono, ultramatic, chromoscopic, silicobo, volcanic, conciosis.
Very good, false. Came out yesterday. Okay, I thought it was today. Yesterday, there was a much more important release yesterday. The System Shock 2 25th anniversary remaster was much more important. Obviously. And I said that on a Metal Gear stream, so now I'm dead. The subreddit's going crazy again. Ow. Repent. Ow! Literally 5 people bought that game. If you weren't here near the end, or in the stream near the end, you would have missed it. But there were actually a couple people who had never seen the game before, and they were like, this looks sweet. And then they went and looked at it on Steam, and they're like, wait, it's only 30 bucks? And they bought it. I generated a couple of sales on the System Shock remaster yesterday. Okay, like 7 people bought it? Yeah, 7, approximately. Son of a bitch. Oh, the first person aiming. The first person aiming in Mantis's fight on expert, or sorry, not expert, extreme on this game is so ass. I cannot aim for half a second without losing my POV. So ass. That's why I've just been shooting at him normally. Yeah, you can't even still aim during that. So I was like, can I just still try to hit him? But no, Snake lowers his gun too. Add Mantis to the list. I really don't like Mantis on Extreme. I'm fine with him otherwise. On Extreme, he's just a pain in the ass. I did not see the video in Discord, no. Ooh, I haven't been on Discord this morning. Or not my Discord server, rather. I have been on Discord. Skip to Death Stranding 2, or would you insist on playing 1? I'd have to play the first one. There's no way I'm just playing 2. Ow. You're playing the Master Collection version? Twin Snakes isn't in the Master Collection. The original MGS1 is in Master Collection. People would have been so pissed if they made Twin Snakes the version they included. I can't even imagine the reactions if they did Twin Snakes instead of the original. I know.
Meryl, stand right where he can see you and blow your brains out.
Stop! Meryl!
Oh my god, she's still up? I was gonna say, I hit her with a trank and then knocked her down. That normally is how that's supposed to work. Why can I not crouch? I still can't crouch. Every other button is working. The crouch / dive button, though, I guess is no longer an option. And I don't have any rations. Why? I've never had this in this fight. What is that? What the fuck is happening? Oh my god. I almost choked it right at the end. Jesus Christ.
Colonel.
Get the tag. The tag is right here. This is the tag. But we already have it for Extreme. But this is where you would grab him. We had to rerun Extreme for Meryl's dog tag. Which is a pain in the ass, but we already got it. There's a story recap in Death Stranding 2, but it's too short and isn't helpful if you haven't played the first one already. I feel like that's... the story recap thing feels, what's it? Kind of like a lost cause in a lot of games. Because either it's too short and it doesn't actually give you all the context you'll need, or it's too long and it's just really boring to sit through. C. Troyer, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it.
What's wrong? I thought you were good with dogs.
And also goodbye, Hot Sauce. We'll see you around.
What is she gonna do with the semen? Is she gonna rub it on her schlong? I need to know what happens.
It's a classic. It's a certified classic. By the way, did you guys know that False is playing Half-Life for the first time on her YouTube streams lately? That shit has been hilarious. That has actually been some of the best content from False in a minute. It's so fucking funny. That Portal was really good too, but Half-Life is next level. Oh, yeah, okay. It's time for the great MGS1 backtrack. Everyone's favorite part of the game. She hasn't played Half-Life? Well, she's played it now. I think she left off during On a Rail last night, if I'm remembering correctly. So she's played through to On a Rail as of now. We got a genuine reaction to We've Got Hostiles too. When, spoiler alert for Half-Life if you haven't played it, which, what's wrong with you? But we got a genuine reaction when the first, like, army soldier ran in and gunned down the scientist, and she was just like, wait, what? She freaks out. It was good. It was very good. False not playing Half-Life before is on brand. It is very on brand. Like any obscure ass horror game or JRPG you mentioned, she's either played it or like watched a playthrough of it if she hasn't played it herself. You mentioned a classic like Portal, Half-Life, Halo. No, she's never played it or watched it. For a second I forgot where I was going. A bunch of literal industry nobodies who made mobile games or never made a video game ever made something this good. It's not that crazy. God, what was it? Black Myth Wukong was also a game made by a bunch of former mobile game developers. Like that was their, I guess, portfolio, for lack of a better term, prior to Black Myth. It's actually a weirdly common thing for people who make a living off of developing mobile games to then go to making like home console / PC games and make bangers. And it's generally, I think it's just very telling that like the issue with mobile games isn't, what's it? Isn't that there's no like talent in the devs. It's just the entire like business model of mobile games themselves kind of shooting each project in the foot in terms of like the quality of the game itself. Twin snakes. It's gotta happen. Black Myth Wukong isn't great though. I haven't played it yet. It didn't look that amazing to me either, but I do plan on playing it someday when it's on sale. Like for a generally cheaper price. I don't know. I don't know what kind of price I'm looking for, but just someday.
Snake, are you okay? Snake! Snake!
Someday it will be like $20 and I'll be like, yeah, that seems like a great game for $20, and I'll just jump on it compulsively. But right now in my free time, I've been gaming on so many of the classics. I've been replaying Gears. Well, with False. I've been playing Gears like co-op with False. We just finished Gears of War 1 last night. It was a good time. She liked it. Or so she says. I'm kidding. She did like it. What was I about to say? Oh, yeah, and now, last night when I had a tiny bit of free time, I have started up my own off-stream playthrough to just chip away at and do like achievements and stuff for the System Shock 2 remaster. Because it would be a crime for one of my top 10 games of all time to get a fancy new remaster with a bunch of achievements and everything, and for me to not go through and platinum it. And genuinely, that game is so fun. That game is so insanely fun. I get so addicted to it every single time I go back to it. It's crazy. Like, I glaze it every time I bring it up, and I tell people about how amazing it is and how everyone needs to play it at some point. And I'm basically this game's like largest source of marketing at this point. But man, like every time I boot it up, I feel like I forget just how good it really fucking is. And I'm like, oh my god, this game is incredible. Oh yeah, I forgot that Stellar Blade was made by Gacha mobile devs. Thoughts on Thief, since you're also a System Shock fan? I'm not as big on Thief. Thief is cool, I like Thief, but I'm nowhere near as big of a fan. Which games are in your top 10? System Shock 2, Portal 2, Mass Effect 2, a lot of 2s in there. Which, go figure, a lot of the best games I've ever played are the games where, like, the first game is really good, and then the team looked at what made the first game great, and just built on that without making, like, crazy oversteps or, you know, misjudging things or whatever. Those tend to be a lot of my favorites. Just, like, a good-ass sequel. Metal Gear Solid 2 is my favorite Metal Gear. On brand. It just, he understood, they understood. Not a one-man effort. They understood what made Metal Gear Solid great, and they did it again. They did it bigger, better. Thief games have incredible story. You think? I don't know. I feel like I've never been that big on the story of the Thief games either. But I like Thief. But Thief is like what I do enjoy about Thief a lot is the gameplay. It's not the story, for me at least. I'm trying to get my hair out of my face. I did not put enough product in, clearly. All right, where is she? Oh, I see her. Oh yeah, I was like, what was I talking about before? I totally lost it. Top 10 favorites. I have them written down. My top 10 lists. I legitimately have them written down on my computer. Hold on. This is a worthwhile distraction. Let me get the list. I wrote them down because I struggle so much to remember them off the top of my head, like all of them. So I wrote down a list and I come back to it if I'm ever like, one of these has to go in favor of something better. Oh, fuck. Silent Hill 2. How did I not say it? Resident Evil 1 remake. The original Doom, which is maybe my craziest pick on here, like when you just look at it nowadays. But fuck, I just boot up the original Doom and blast through it in like 3 hours at random, and it's some of the most fun I have gaming still. Dark Souls 1, Ocarina of Time, Red Dead Redemption 2, I didn't say. That's maybe one of the more left field picks among my general gaming tastes. I feel like most people don't expect me to say Red Dead 2, just knowing the sort of stuff that I'm normally into. But Red Dead 2 is such an insane experience, like on the whole. Just everything comes together in that game so well. Naming your top 10? Yeah, I had to go and check the list for the ones that I couldn't remember off the top of my head. Metal Gear? None of the Metal Gear games are in my top 10 ever. Not even 2. No Chrono Trigger. I haven't played it, but I'm generally not big on JRPGs, so I doubt it would make it in there anyway. I do plan on playing it at some point. I don't expect it to make the top 10. Simply because it's just not a genre that I typically enjoy. It does have Toriyama though. He does do good art. But that didn't save Dragon Quest. I did not enjoy Dragon Quest, let me tell you. No Quake. That was the list. I said all of them. Did you like Prey? 2017, I'm assuming? Because yes. Not my favorite immersive sim, but yeah, it's a really good one. And I, more than anything, am glad that Prey 2017 introduced so many people to imsims, because by 2017, like, we kind of, like, imsims were pretty much dead by then. I feel like Prey was the last big one we got. Or when was the second Square Enix Deus Ex? The second Adam Jensen one. When was that? 2016, I want to say, but it might have been later. So I feel like Prey 2017 was the last one. Oh, the OG? Original Prey is fine. I don't love it as much as most people. It's got a lot of really cool, like set pieces, like gimmicks. Super entertaining gimmicks. Like, I fucking love that one where you get shrunk down and you're on, like, the little... God, I can't even remember what it was exactly. 2015? Really? 2015. No grinding, tactical combat, incredible and moving story. If all that is true, I probably would love it. Because that's, like, my issues with JRPGs is they all rely on grinding. Their combat, from what I've played, is always mind-numbingly boring. Because it's not even like I hate turn-based. I love so many games that have turn-based combat to pieces. Like, I love them to death. But from what I've played of, like, classic, iconic JRPGs, their combat doesn't require any thought. It's just like, oh yeah, put big damage. Use item to heal when you're getting kind of low. Put big damage, big damage, big damage. Has no grinding. It's legendary for it. I fucking hope so. I fucking hope so. Submitted to the torture. Shame on you. I'm just trying to get through the rest of the dog tags. Plus, Otacon ending is better. It's true. I've come to terms with it and started just giving up most of the time. You're not gonna like Yakuza 7. I'm fearing that. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about either of the turn-based Yakuzas. I've kind of been fearing that since the start, especially knowing that there's some of the bigger games. And especially like with where I'm at right now in the Yakuza series, the combat is getting so good. Like, it's just, the combat's getting so good that them switching me over to turn-based, unless it's really, really good turn-based, is going to rub me the wrong way.
Here. Where?
Like, unless it's just phenomenal, it feels like it's not going to be able to hold a candle to what things like Yakuza 5 and Ishin were dealing with, combat-wise. So I'm worrying about that. And yeah, just knowing that, like, even, like, Ishin got really grindy in terms of side content and open world stuff. To be able to keep up and be able to output enough damage and all that, Ishin even got pretty grindy. So, thinking about that,
What the hell?
and then them shifting towards a genre that is even more notoriously grindy, it's like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm a little worried for how I'm gonna get on with those. Make you love turn-based games? Some of my favorite games are turn-based. Like XCOM games are some of my favorites. I didn't get to play any more of it than what I did, but like Baldur's Gate 3, I sunk like 40 hours on stream into Act 1 alone and loved every bit of it. I just had to cut it to prioritize like Armored Core and stuff like that at the time. Which I don't regret, but I fucking loved Baldur's Gate 3. Like, I love turn-based combat if it's good. It's just, a lot of the classic JRPGs that I have played, like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, they have not had good turn-based combat. They've had really boring turn-based combat. Yeah, turn-based tactical RPG is very different from regular turn-based. It's true. And I feel like the regular turn-based just is really hard to do in a way where it's actually fun. Like, it feels like the only fun that comes out of those combat systems is just, like, seeing the number go up as you progress through the game. Which really sucks. Playing Claire Obscure. I skipped it because it's not my genre. Looks great, but it doesn't look like something that's going to be my thing. It's another one where, like, when it's on sale years from now for, like, a much lower price, I will probably jump on it then and play it, because I do plan on playing it at some point. But yeah. Potentially kill their model kit sales. Yeah. The closest thing I've played, Warhammer-wise, for like replicating the tabletop style is Gladius. And even then, it's very different, right? It kind of mimics it, and I think that what is really cool about Gladius is that the game is built for, like, really long matches. genuinely, even just playing it with False in like a quick 1v1 on a small map, like literally we've played on the map size tiny that's just meant for a 1v1, and those matches have lasted us like 2 hours. Like we genuinely, and it's not the plan that like we go on the little maps that it's like, okay, we can just play a quick game, and then, you know, we're getting near the end of it and I look over and it's like midnight. It's the closest it gets, but even then it's totally different. That's a turn-based game that I really like though. Warhammer Gladius, 40k Gladius, so fun. So fucking fun. That's a great turn-based game. What was the last turn-based game you played? And the best you've played? The last I played probably was Gladius. The best turn-based game I've played is probably... I'll just say XCOM. It could be a few of them in the XCOM series for different reasons. I'll just say, like, I really like the Fire Axis XCOM games, particularly the rebooted ones. So, like, Enemy Unknown and XCOM 2 are really, really good. I think playing those games on, like, the highest difficulty on Iron Man mode is by far the most enjoyable, like, turn-based strategy combat I've ever engaged with. I meant like JRPG turn-based. Oh. Shit. JRPG style turn-based. The last one I played would have been Final Fantasy. Right? You really got to play Front Mission. Front Mission is on my list because it is like Armored Core meets XCOM, and it looks awesome. It is on my list. The last one I played probably was Final Fantasy. It's been a while. Because I had like that period of really trying all the like big JRPGs. Like the ones that really got the genre going back in the day. To try to learn more about it. So I played like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Mother, all those. I didn't play SMT. I gave up by that point. And just none of them really clicked with me. Like even then, I would say the best one probably was Final Fantasy, but I still didn't love Final Fantasy. I was just like, yeah, that was all right. I didn't hate that. Dragon Quest I hated. The Mother games I hated. I forgot the body armor. Didn't like Mother? Bro, Mother? Don't even get me started. No, I did not like Mother. Fuck no. I'm gonna die. Oh, shit. Sounds like you haven't played any of the actually good ones, bro. I played like all of the big legacy ones other than SMT. What do you mean? Or at least Mother 2. I played 1 and 2. And even 2 was so insanely overrated. I can't even express. Like, I'm being so real. I played it and I was like, really? This one? What'd you expect from it? Something that I would enjoy. Because I constantly hear about how it's one of the best JRPGs ever. Mother 2, specifically. Mother 1, I was like, okay, it's the first one. You know, first games tend to be a little shaky. But the second one I frequently hear cited as one of the best in the genre. And... no, I thought Final Fantasy 1 was a lot better than Mother 2. Final Fantasy 1 genuinely probably was my favorite out of the ones I played. But I think that that's mostly because Final Fantasy 1 was very light on grinding and had like shockingly good pacing compared to everything else. But Jesus Christ, when it comes to grinding, bro, nothing, and I mean nothing, beats Dragon Quest. Holy shit, old Dragon Quest. Or Dragon Warrior. It's the American version of the original was called Dragon Warrior on NES. Holy shit, those games. Like, if you haven't played the original Dragon Quest, particularly, I shit you not, you leave town, like after starting up the game, naming your character and all that, you leave the first town, you encounter the first enemy of the game, and unless you just get really lucky on RNG, that like level 1 slime is going to fucking eradicate you. You don't stand a chance. You don't stand a chance. You're dead. You're just dead. And then you go back after you reload and you try to do it again and you're dead. And then you try it again and you're dead. And then you try it again and finally the RNG rolls your way to kill the first enemy you've encountered in this game. And then you have to do it again because you didn't level up. You legitimately have to grind and just hope and pray for good RNG for the level 1 enemies when you first start Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior 1. The literal first enemies in the game are just pray for RNG, and then you have to do at least like a few fights against them before you hit level 2 and any sort of difference is made. It's fucking crazy. That experience is awful. And that's like the whole game. It genuinely, that just sets the standard for the whole rest of the original Dragon Quest. What you're saying is luck sucks? Not even that, it's just that's how grindy the game is. Like, to reasonably beat the level 1 enemies, like consistently, in the original Dragon Quest, you have to be like level 3. So you sit there, like, just praying for RNG with the literal first enemy in the game. And you have to, within 5 minutes of starting up the game, you have to start grinding for XP and money to become stronger. Like, literally, as soon as you boot up Dragon Warrior, you are grinding. The instant you boot it up, you're already grinding. It's so bad. It's insane. Whoa. Doing MGS2 dog tags right now. Pray for him, chat. He's gonna need it.
Damn.
Mate, False, have you played 8? I feel like you mentioned that you have, but I'm not 100%. Have you played 8? Oh, she hasn't played 8. There you go. I wasn't sure. But you know what she has played now, chat? Hit title, absolute classic, Gears of War for the Xbox 360. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm putting her on the real classics here. Only played 7 and 7 remake. I almost thought rebirth it for a second. Just gonna keep chucking them. Where's the ladder? Is it? Ah, it is over here. I love testosterone-fueled one-liners every time I pick up ammo. It's great. It's great. Spared Meryl from having to marry that guard you just escaped from in MGS4. I don't dislike Johnny. I'm starting to feel like I'm in the minority on this, but I don't mind him. I feel like people take the Meryl and Johnny relationship so seriously when it's so clearly just a Kojima shitpost. Uh-oh. Shitpost, literally. Can't believe I didn't catch that one.
Nice shot. Eat this.
Uh-oh. But I don't know. I feel like it's the same as, like, being mad that Big Boss canonically fucked Kaz, which is still a crazy thing that is canon, but it's clearly just a joke. It's really not a big deal.
Nice shot.
What? Look, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker is a wonderful game, chat. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Wait, did you say pause or cause? Get this, both. Both. I said cause, but both are true. Both of those statements are true.
Snake, what happened? Snake! Snake!
How we feel about the third birthday? Mods, I want him gone. I want him gone. Okay? We don't talk about the third birthday here. Oh, that's a good JRPG. Parasite Eve. I like that one. That's a good one.
You think you can beat me with that little thing?
That's also on my list. Well, you will understand why once you play it. Believe me, I don't have to explain it to you. You will know. Today is my third birthday. You just need to play JRPGs that aren't shit. I think they just need to make more JRPGs that aren't shit.
Nice shot!
I gotta calm down before I put myself on a list. Oh god.
Nice shot!
Son of a bitch. Hate this boss on extreme. Oh my god, he did the teleport. Yeah, and I was laying down. Shit.
What's wrong? Snake! Snake!
I can name 10 JRPGs that are definitely not shit. I can name 10 Call of Duty games that are definitely not shit. I gotta stop. I'm gonna get myself put on a hit list for all this. I'm gonna end up on a list at this point. Nuh-uh, yeah-huh. Call of Duty 1, 2, COD 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2 original, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3 original, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3,
You think you can beat me with
Cold War. Cold War. Ten. Cold War was good. Cold War was good.
nice shot?
Definitely not shit. Out of the 100 or so COD games. Yeah, how many are there? Let's see. It's every year except for 1 year that they skipped since 2003. So there are 21 COD games? Yes, that would be the... That's how that math would work. I would also say Black Ops 6 is not shit. But Black Ops 6 hasn't run its full season, so it feels kind of like premature to say it. But I think Black Ops 6 is really healthy right now. COD 1 and expansion is still my favorite experience. True. Bro, COD 1 is criminally slept on. The original Call of Duty is actually so good. And no one talks about it. Oh my god, he teleported. Fuck you, Liquid, cheating bitch. Okay, but no, really, who allows him to move like this? This is fucked up. I shouldn't have rolled. I got lucky. That hit? We take those. Oh no. I'm laying down. Fuck. I'm gonna lose it. BO6 does have AI zombies loading screens, you're true. Or you're true? You're right. However, BO6 also has campaign set pieces where you go on zombies-inspired hallucinatory drug trips and fight mimics in an office building while 115 from Black Ops 1 Zombies is blasting in the background. So, I think BO6 can maybe even out to being not shit. Potentially. Maybe. And every zombies map in BO6 has been good so far. And the multiplayer is solid. So aside from the weird AI shit, I feel like it's been a pretty good year for COD. Which you'd never hear a Call of Duty fan say, because Call of Duty fans always hate the current game. They're kind of known for it. They never like the current game. But I think BO6 has had a good year so far. Aside from the AI fiasco, which, yeah, that sucks. Not a big fan of that one. Shit. I did see the Capcom spotlight, and I watched the extended interviews for RE9 this morning. There was so much insane shit in the extended interviews that they did not talk about at the showcase. Like, there was the funny little haha that they mentioned at the showcase where they were like, yeah, we thought about making Leon the main character, and originally we were going to. But then we realized that Leon is too badass to make a horror game with at this point. So we decided to come up with someone else. That was hilarious, and that was in the showcase. But then you go to watch the extended interviews on the Resident Evil portal, and not only do they talk about this, but they show footage of the original scrapped concept of Resident Evil 9, where it was going to be a two-player co-op game similar to 5 or 6. It was originally going to be a more action-oriented two-player co-op entry, like 5 or 6, but they decided to scrap that because they were like, well, we don't really think that fans are looking for that experience right now. The crazy part is that they showed footage of those builds too. That was the best part. They didn't just say that, they showed that. They showed those initial concepts they had and what they were working on before they scrapped it, which is so cool. Yeah, the online, like, open world one was the two-player co-op. It's the same thing. It was also going to be open world, but then apparently the open world was something they really liked the concept of, but then when they started actually building the game, they really didn't like the open world. The director in the extended interviews said that the open world just really was not working with, like, the Resident Evil formula when they tried to do it. Which, go figure. It's almost like every time that's come up, I've been like, I don't even know how you could make that work with the Resi brand. And yeah, apparently they tried it. They gave it a really good shot and they couldn't make it work. So I feel very validated on that one. Because I had people telling me I was crazy for that. Yeesh. Fuck this boss. Fuck this boss. He has also punched a boulder. This is bait. I was reading that and I thought it was serious until I saw it. He also punched a boulder. Ow. God damn it. He was joking. DS was not joking about the open world. He was not. Ow. Ow. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Speaking of the Leon thing, where they've now confirmed that yes, Grace is the sole protagonist. Leon, at least as a main character, will not be in the game. From what we know. I have to go pull this up. Hold on. Because I've been talking about how bad like the copium around Leon being in 9 has been, and I've been a strong like, don't put your faith in it until they actually tell you that Leon is in the game, because you're gonna be disappointed. Hold on, let me go find this tweet. I know who tweeted it. I'm not gonna put them on blast. But let me go find this. Okay, here we go. So, a Resident Evil content creator, and I think this is a large reason that this is such an issue right now with all the copium in the Resi community. It's mostly because of how the content creators, because like it or not, content creators do kind of shape a lot of general consensus within gaming communities. Which, yeah, I don't love that that is the reality, but it's true. I've talked a lot about how I think that they do a poor job covering leaks or just talking about speculation and stuff like that. And one of the biggest Resi creators yesterday, immediately after the showcase, tweeted about them saying that Leon was not going to be in the game, at least not as a protagonist. He might make an appearance. They didn't say he wouldn't, but he won't be a protagonist. His tweet about this, word for word, is, personally, I think it's a ruse and he will be a protagonist. I don't think it's particularly right that Leon represents action rather than horror. He just straight up, like, the developers are telling you he is not going to be a protagonist, and Resident Evil YouTubers take to Twitter and they're like, they're lying! They have to be! I know he's a main character. They're lying to us. Like, no, dude, stop. Stop. Oh, stop. Because now we're going to get even more copium, despite them literally outright saying he won't be in the game. At least, again, as a protagonist. I keep saying in the game. There's going to be so much more copium about it still within the community, because creators are like, no, they have to be just playing us, right? Like, he's gonna show up and we're all gonna be shocked because they tried to trick us and say that he's not a protagonist. "100% in the game. Capcom is known for teasing and misleading us into thinking something isn't going to happen, and then it does." And the reason that people say that stuff, genuinely, because I know where this is coming from, because I've had these conversations with people since RE9 first got revealed with Grace and everything. The reason that that keeps coming up, the misleading in the marketing thing, people keep pointing fingers to how Chris was set up to be a villain in Village and then ended up not being a villain. But, like, I think that's a completely different scenario. Because with that, yeah, the whole game is doing that. The whole game is leading you towards Chris is against you. but then it turns out to not be the case. So of course they didn't spoil the fucking plot twist of the game in the initial marketing. But you know what they didn't do? Lie and say that Chris wasn't in the game. They were very clear and very heavy on Chris in the marketing. That is, in my opinion, it's a terrible comparison. It is not a valid comparison. It's what keeps coming up in regards to Leon, and I think it's an awful thing to compare to. Because it's nowhere near the same situation. Again, like maybe Leon appears at the very end of the game or something. Sort of like what happened in RE7 with Chris. Right? It could be something like that. But it's not going to be like Leon is secretly the main character of the game. They've never done something like that. They've never straight up bait and switched you on who you play as for the entire game through the marketing cycle. There's no precedence for that. Kojima tells you to go in the foot scanner. What do? I go in the foot scanner. Look, chat, I got some fucking ugly ass caveman feet, let me tell you. But if my feet could be in the next Kojima game, I want my feet in that game. I'm not passing up that opportunity.
Snake.
It's like arguing someone who made a sandwich you were eating and saying they're lying about the stuff in the sandwich. Like my brother in Christ, they made the sandwich. Yeah. I don't know. People are saying that they're trying to mislead you for some sort of like plot twist in the game where Leon is the protagonist for like half of it or something. And like that's where I'm just like, there's never been anything to that degree. Like point to Chris secretly actually being a good guy and not a villain in Village. Sure, that was a little deceptive, but they were never telling us Chris wasn't in the game. That, like, it was a whole narrative point in the game, right? They wouldn't spoil. It's like spoiling any plot twist in marketing. They just wouldn't do that. Some people do that, and people always get pissed when they do. It has happened in gaming, but that was the reason that we got, in quotes, deceived about Chris in Village. Not because they were trying to hide his presence in the game. They just weren't outright telling us the plot twist in the initial trailers. It's totally different. It's nowhere near the same thing. Like, I'm trying to think of a Metal Gear comparison, right? MGS5. The plot twist, I'm not even gonna outright say it. Right, chat? But like MGS5, that game did deceive you on who you were playing as, right? Sure. But not because they were trying to completely hide it for the sake of like, you know, you play the game and then you're playing as someone completely different from who you saw in the trailer, like MGS2 did. MGS2 is like the one time that I can think that did happen in gaming. No. It was hidden from you in the marketing because it's just the plot twist of the entire narrative. Like, the game literally crescendos with that reveal. That's when the narrative hits its climax, is at that reveal. So of course they didn't tell you that in the marketing.
Too late, Snake. Now die!
I think that Leon absolutely could appear for like a short segment similar to the bit in Village where you play as Chris near the very end, where you go and run through the village real quick with an assault rifle as Chris. And I think that's actually a great comparison because like the reason that Chris probably wasn't the main character of a whole game is because he's too badass. Same thing they said about Leon, right? Like, how could you put big burly man Chris Redfield in the same situation that Ethan Winters was in Village and have him be afraid of what's going on? You couldn't. Because you know what Chris does? He rocks up with like a whole squad of his special agents from the BSAA. He's kitted out with like a custom AK. He rocks up to the village in just a shirt, mind you, a long sleeve shirt. And he fucking he kills like 50 werewolves in one go. Just immediately on arrival. Because that's what Chris Redfield does at this point in the story. And that's the kind of point that Leon is at too. So I think Leon could appear for maybe a segment like that, but I don't think it's gonna be like Leon is a main character of the game. No. Chris would one-punch Lady D. He would. Chris Redfield is basically the Saitama of the Resident Evil universe at this point. And Leon is right there with him. I would say Leon is equally as badass as Chris at this rate. Right? I mean, Leon all the way back in 4, I bring it up all the time because it's ridiculous, but don't forget, he roundhouse kicks people and their heads explode from the force of his kick. We're not talking like split open. We're talking like jibs, like all sorts of pieces. They scatter out. Big blood spray from the sheer force of Leon's roundhouse kick. Don't forget it. So I totally see where they're coming from with like, yeah, Leon could not reasonably be like someone who you put in that situation and he's afraid of everything. He wouldn't work for horror. I actually agree with them now that they've said it. I would have wanted Leon. Leon's my favorite Resident Evil character. So I would have loved for him to be the main character, but when they say that, I'm like, you know what? You make a good point. you make a pretty good point. I can't disagree with you there. Leon is so crazy power scaled, just like Chris Redfield right now. He also dodges lasers and such and does backflips. True. Don't forget the backflips and corkscrews through the laser grid in RE4 as well. Good point. I think it's going to be painful because I feel like I'm genuinely the only creator in the Resi sphere who doesn't like massively hop on and just start pumping this copium, and it drives me nuts. Like the devs outright tell you, no, we're not doing this, and here's the reason why, and people are like, they're lying to us. They have to be. They're fooling us. They're tricking us. Chris, prior to the events of RE1, was a military pilot. Is that why he flies all the time? Oh, Leon also flies a lot in later games. Never mind. Do you think the devs are talking way too much about him? I think that's also crazy because they talked about him one time. This is the only time they've actually brought up Leon in any of the marketing or discussion about the game so far. I wouldn't exactly say they're talking way too much about him. And I think they only brought him up probably because obviously they keep in check with what's going on in the community of their own game, right? It's one of those things, like, they create these games and they love seeing people engage with them. Oh, I slipped. Sorry. So obviously they're in the know about what the community is saying. I feel like they probably threw that in there because people were still, like, saying that Leon would be a character, and they wanted to just set a reasonable expectation with that. And somehow people are still just going crazy and saying that he's in it.
Was there a noise just
I don't know. I don't understand. And the only reason I hate shit like that so much is because you're driving up like all this copium, you're drumming it up. And it almost feels like you're kind of shaking the hornet's nest a bit pre-release. Where now, when the game comes out and Leon isn't a main character, people are going to be saying that they hate the game because they thought that Leon would be a main character and he's not, and they feel disappointed by that. Like, this shit happens all the time. And it's going to happen with RE9. It's going to. And I'm just gonna be here like, yeah, I don't know why you would think that. They tried to tell you. God. We're both in the US Air Force. Oh. That makes sense. I'm also happy with Grace. And I think that her design that she'll actually have for like the duration of the game looked great in that trailer. She looks very rough, like really, really rough. In a way that we didn't really get to see with 7 or Village all that much, because we never saw Ethan from a third-person view aside from like one scene per game, and those scenes were both very brief. I like that she looks so fucking beat up in that trailer. Like, she literally, right here where like her neck and shoulder meets, she has this huge like gash that she's bandaged up, and it's very bloody. She's like bled through the bandages a lot, and she's just got like stuff like that all over in the trailer. And we didn't really get to see that with the last couple games. You see it with like Ethan's hand, you know, the meme that Ethan's hand just keeps getting fucking destroyed. And I think that was them trying to kind of do the same thing. And it's like, how do you do that in first person? Well, he's got hands. That's about all you can do. So I really like how rough she looks, because we didn't really get to see that in the old Resi games either. Like, they tried to do it, right? With, like, original RE2, you know, Leon gets shot by Annette Birkin, and Ada has to bandage him up, but it doesn't sell itself the same way back in the PS1 games that it does with, you know, this new game. A game made nowadays. Current technology and all that. Oh, I have a ration. Oh, he beats me. Yeah, I don't have my body armor. I might have to legitimately fight Raven here for the first time in the Twin Snakes. Only because I forgot the armor. I did this to myself. Really good design. Yeah. Like, genuinely, a lot of people are pissed about Grace right now in the community. And I do think that it's just because they, were so convinced that it was going to be Leon, and now there's so much disappointment that it's not Leon. And I do think that's really going to have an effect on the overall sentiment of the game once it comes out. Shit.
Snake, are you okay? Snake! Snake!
Yeah, I thought she looked like, in a weird way, for the kind of more grindhouse horror that they've been going with for the last few games. Being able to actually see how roughed up she is from all of it is really great. Infinite claymores. He'll never hit me. Uh-oh, he hit me. survival elements, resources, etc.
Answer me. Snake.
Troll thinks I'm crazy. I especially do now that we just, like, literally yesterday got an interview with the director of the game where he's like, yeah, we started this game as an open world title because we thought it would be a really fun direction to take with Resident Evil, and it didn't work. We scrapped the game and started over because it just really wasn't working. It didn't fit with the series design. Like, or the design that the series is known for, is what they said. For Nero and 4? Nero was very in the marketing for DMC4. Look at how it worked for MGS5 and Forza. Yeah, but just because it works for some things doesn't mean it works for everything. And like, again, we have the most talented people in the industry all coming together and pouring thousands of hours of collective effort into trying to make that thing work. And they had to collectively come to the decision of, this isn't working, we need to start over. And they had to get like business approval from Capcom corporate and everything. Like, that's not an easy decision to make. So I'm gonna take their word for it that it doesn't work, is all I'm saying. The people who understand this better than anyone are saying, we tried it, it doesn't work. So I'm gonna take their word for it. Please let me. I can't. I actually can't.
No! Snake! Get off, Snake!
I have to actually fight him. Is he more aggressive than usual? Like, obviously he is on extreme, but I mean just in the Twin Snakes. I don't recall him being this aggressive in MGS1. Even on extreme, when we were doing like big boss and stuff, I don't remember him being this crazy at all. Oh, come on. He hadn't even like properly rounded the corner yet, dude.
No! Snake! Get off, Snake!
This is fucked up. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to cheese him on Big Boss either. Because like, I will have body armor for Big Boss. I'm gonna need it. But, I won't be able to use... Unless I save my one ration for the playthrough for him. Which is tempting now that I say it. It's pretty tempting, actually.
What's wrong? Snake! Snake!
shit. Oh my god. Okay. Shit. He is insane. He is so crazy on this difficulty. What the fuck? He is crazy.
Snake.
But in general, with all the RE9 stuff, I do highly recommend actually going to the Resident Evil portal if you want more insight on like just how the game's production has been and like how they got to the point that they're at right now. It was so interesting. There's so much in there too. Like, I'm gonna have to rewatch it to be able to talk about it in like deeper detail or in greater detail, because there was so much there that they talked about. And you know, the interviews were with, there was one guy who I don't know like prior to these interviews, but the two like main guys that they're interviewing in these are, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, unfortunately, but the director of 7 and 8 and now the director of 9. So obviously he knows a lot of what he's talking about with RE. And then the other big one was Masachika Kawada, who's been the lead producer on the entire franchise since Shinji Mikami departed from Capcom back in like what, 2005. And even then, he was one of the lead producers on the franchise prior to Mikami's departure. He's been there, like, working on Resident Evil since RE1. Kawada has. So, like, that dude really knows his shit with the RE franchise. He's literally had a hand in every single Resident Evil game ever produced. That guy seriously knows what the fuck he's talking about. Huh? So they were some great interviews. I would recommend them a lot. Also, Rain, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Hello.
Snake.
Found some cheese sticks in my air fryer. Just in the air fryer? I don't know if that's concerning or not.
Was there a noise just now?
You don't store yours in there? I don't. I do not store my cheese sticks in the air fryer. Though that might surprise people. I'm gonna have to. We really don't have much Twin Snakes left. We have a bit. We have more than I would like. I'm kind of antsy to get to 3 now since we're so close to the end. But we really don't have much left. Because I want to get a lot more playtime in with 3 before Delta. The timing has worked out great that we're like about to start the 100% for 3. Just a month and a half or so, I would say, before Delta comes out. Because I don't think we'll finish all of 3's 100% by any means. I don't know how extensive that completion is, though, to be fair. But yeah, it's just, I want to get a lot of time sunk in and be super fresh and familiar with 3 for when Delta comes out. So I think the timing worked out genuinely about perfectly for that. Should be a lot quicker than 2. I fucking hope so. Granted, I like 3, but just 2 was so long. Any 100% that goes over 100 hours, I shouldn't say any. Most 100% that go over 100 hours tend to be too much. And MGS2 was definitely too much. And that's my favorite MGS game. But it was too much. Would you rather be rusty with Delta to feel more fresh? No. I'm reviewing it on launch, remember? And it's going to be a very faithful game. So it's going to come down to like, what are the little differences and changes throughout? Which version? Master Collection. I want the Steam achievements. Although, I'm gonna need to get a mod to fix the audio, for sure. I am not playing the game with that audio. Fuck that. I can't believe they still haven't changed that. Because, like, the Master Collection... Bro, the last thing that the Master Collection needed to be worried about is the file size being a little too big from using the uncompressed audio of the originals. I don't know why they compressed the audio so heavily on 3 in specific. They compressed it a little bit in 2. You can hear it. But dude, 3's audio is like crunchy and has no dynamic range. It's crazy. 3's audio is mega fucked in the Master Collection. Oh my god. Yeah, you just... forget that the guards from the alert show up instantly. Fuck this. I'm not doing that. April 29th is my birthday. Son of a bitch. Gaming membrane keyboard? What the fuck is a membrane keyboard? Maybe it's because I haven't played the classic game. It's so bad. The audio in 3's Master Collection port is so bad. Like, I need to mod it, because if I don't, it's gonna bug the shit out of me. Guys.
Huh? Was there a noise just now?
Oh, the old school type of keyboard, is it? The classic keyboard with the rubber inside. Ah, maybe it could be cool. I don't know. You think it would feel nicer than a mechanical keyboard for gaming?
Thank you.
With the new camera and whatnot. Yeah, we'll have to see. I like the camera angles, but the issue with 3 is that it doesn't use the camera angles properly. Like in MGS 1 and 2, the camera angles are perfect. In 3, they used the camera angles and then kind of forgot to design the game around the camera angles. Because even on like normal difficulty, enemies will spot you from way off screen. Not even like a little bit off screen, like way the fuck out there. You can't see them, you can't hear them, and they just spot you. And it's infuriating in 3. Like, unless you're constantly, you know, keeping the lowest profile possible, making yourself completely invisible, or at least the closest you can be to it, the enemies in 3 are gonna spot you before you even know they're there. At least, like I said, with the classic camera angles from the Snake Eater release, it's bad. It's rough. You bitch. Ignore the leaf blower outside. Shit.
Big fan of your work. Keep it up.
Thank you, William. Appreciate it. Thank you for the 25. I came in here so ill prepared. At least I have bandana. Makes my life a little bit easier. Your fans are here? I know. I got at least one. Minimum one. Ooh. Or I guess minimum 2. I'm expecting that False is a fan. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and assume. I would fucking hope so. Ow. I'm a hater, actually. Yeah, I get that vibe a lot. Wow. Complete luck shot. That's the worst first-person cam in the grass ever. It's not, like, unusable, but...
It's no good. I can't do it.
It is rough. I definitely had those moments during my playthrough of Snake Eater where I was like, oh my god, I can't fucking see through the grass.
I can't do it. No, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. I can't shoot. I can't shoot. No,
Can't shoot.
I can't do it. It's no good. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't shoot.
Just jealous of your gamer skills, actually. I don't know why. I see through your lies. You are a gamer. False will be like, oh my god, I'm so bad at games. Everyone is always so mad at me because I'm so bad at games. And then we play Gears of War. And I start the game up on hardcore difficulty without her noticing. I don't tell her. Oh, I have to restart because I was being dumb. I should have known better.
Are you okay?
And she just absolutely flies through on that difficulty without even knowing that she's on hardcore mode. And she's literally just good at games. That's what I'm saying. She's always like, I'm such a terrible gamer. Everyone always is so annoyed with me because I'm such a terrible gamer. And then she's a crazy gamer. She just picks up a totally new game and is good at it. Like fucking Elden Ring. If you've been there for us playing that, she's like genuinely about as good at Elden Ring as I am. And I've played like 1,000+ hours of the Souls games. She hasn't. She doesn't have the knowledge, sure, but like the mechanical skill, she's about where I am. Next, you're gonna tell us that she mains Lily in Tekken. She does. Portal 2 would be the real test. Bro, she did not take long to get through Portal 2. She flew through Portal as well. Yeah, she literally just played Portal 1 and 2 for the first time and
It's no good.
flew through both of them.
It's no good. I can't do it. It's no good.
And she does main Lily in Tekken.
No, I can't do it. I can't
Very
shoot.
technical
I can't
character.
do it.
Very fundamental character, aside from fucking Matterhorn.
I can't shoot. I can't shoot. No, I can't do it. It's no good. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Since when does she play Tekken? She
Do it. I can't do it.
false. When did you buy Tekken? I can look. Hold on, Steam. I can look. I don't know how bad I want to out her on this, but hold on, let me at least go look. Because if my memory of the time frame is right, it's kind of outing her, but it's not showing. Why? It's not showing on Steam like the so-and-so played for the first time. False, can you look and find out when you bought Tekken 8? Possibly. It was right around when we started dating. It might have even been before, like just before. Maybe.
There you are.
All right, I aim for liquid now, not the Raydome. She's got 10 hours in it. Yeah, we didn't play much of it. One second, thank you. 'Cause I can't see it. I should be able to see it, but it's not showing for me. December 3rd. Okay. So she bought it the day after we started dating. The literal day after. I knew it was right around that time, but I didn't know exactly when. Oh no. You're spoiling him. Stop it.
Sleeping late as
Not as
usual,
much as
eh,
William.
Snake?
It spoils me.
With the completion. 9.
That's a joke, by the way.
So the genome soldiers.
She does get to choose games for me to play. She just never does. She doesn't, what's it? She doesn't, like, hyper-fixate and immediately throw something out and be like, can you please play this, please, 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 like I do. So she just, she can, she just never does it. But at some point, I'm pretty sure when she does, it's going to be Final Fantasy IX. I keep telling her that I'll play it whenever. Ow.
Is that all you've got?
I didn't know you could hit him out of the shoulder charge windup. Was that a thing on the PS1 version? Oh, I'm dead.
Snake!
Play it? She hasn't asked me to. I don't know what you want from me. Should make my girlfriend play Knack. Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that to her. She'll never want to play a game again.
Is that all you
Probably better than anything Cole has recommended. Hey, like I said, we just finished Gears of War last night. So I'm not so sure about that. Why is he not getting hit by the kick? What is happening? But stupid bitch. I'm sad I missed that. Better than Gears of War? I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Final Fantasy IX, like, you know, launched a whole subgenre into the mainstream. Revolutionized the standardized control scheme for said subgenre for the foreseeable future. I don't know if Final Fantasy IX did any of that. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Tibby said it, not me. Okay? Tibby said it, not me. I was talking about my own girlfriend. Oh, my girlfriend does that too. Never mind.
I'll take the wheel. Uh-oh, a surveillance camera.
Come on, Otacon. wild? Bro, literally yesterday, she just sends me, like, I don't remember. Hold on. I'm looking. What is this? Has file. Where is it? Hold on, I'm outing her on this one. She's 6 minutes into this video about this old obscure horror game on the PS2 that neither of us had ever heard of before. Literally 6 minutes into the video, and she screenshots like where she's at in the video, and she's like, we need to play this one, add it to the list of games we need to play. She just finds some random ass game from the PS2, watches a YouTube video on it for like 5 minutes, and then is like, hey, we need to add this to our list of games to play. Thank you. It's not a one-time example either. Fatal Frame? It is not Fatal Frame. She's played all of them though. I've only played Fatal Frame 1. But no, she's played the whole series. Not Kuan either. Even more obscure. We're talking obscure. What's the game? Hold on. I don't even remember the name. Oh, and I went back to the bottom. Hold on. Image. Scroll a little bit. There it is. Echo Knight. Echo Knight. Yeah, that is what it's called. Piglet's Big Adventure, I wish. If only. Echo Knight Beyond? Echo Knight Beyond is a different one. She wants just the original Echo Knight. And yes, it is a From game. I had never heard of it before, but I looked it up when she sent it to me and I was like, this is an old From Software game. What the fuck? Son of a bitch. Oh, is it PS1? Shame you're skipping them. Yeah, we're just cleaning up the last of the dog tags that I missed. So I'm trying to just zip through it as quick as I can. Only she hyperfixated on Psychonauts. It's peak. I haven't played Psychonauts.
Surveillance camera.
First is on PS1? Okay, then the PS1. It's a PS1 horror game. Which is even more on brand for her weekly random YouTube horror game fixation. It normally is PS1. It is more commonly PS1 games than PS2 games. Get me out!
Let's go.
I swear every time I tune into the stream, you're on this part of the game. Bro, it's because, like, now that I've really got it down for speedrunning through Twin Snakes, like, half of the game, or not even half, I can get to the point where we're at, like, the blast furnace and shit in, like, an hour, roughly. And then this whole segment takes, like, another hour once I am in the blast furnace. Or just the underground part of the facility.
Here they come.
Trying to figure out what the fuck to call this whole area. The underground building at the end takes like a whole hour on its own. Because it mostly is boss encounters. There's no like faster way to do it. My health is in a bad way, too. This keeps happening on extreme. Just getting here and having no health to get through it with. But yes, the cutscenes in this game are insane. They're beautiful. Absolute works of art, each and every one of them. I can't get enough of these cutscenes. Does this section count as kills? It does if you shoot them directly, yes. With the barrel, for some reason, it doesn't count if you shoot the explosive barrels. But if you shoot them directly, like I just shot that one guy at the end directly, then yes. And apparently Twin Snakes does actually require 0 kills. Because original MGS1, since there were no non-lethal weapons, the kill limit was like 25 for Big Boss, I want to say. Twin Snakes actually requires 0. Like MGS 2 and 3 do. And probably 4, I would have to assume. I don't know about 4's Big Boss like at all, but I would guess it's about the same there.
I'll take the wheel. Uh-oh, a surveillance camera.
No, there are no rations in the garage on Extreme. There are like no rations in general on Extreme. I think there are 2 in the entire game. Or no, it's 3. There are 3 in the entire game.
It's got keys. Let's go.
Okay. The camera angle. Screwing me.
Snake, climb in. Let's go. Shoot back with it, Snake.
About Big Boss run. Big Boss, you can't use rations. You're just not allowed to.
Here they come. Snake, you gotta Here they come.
I was about to say, how the fuck is that not blown up yet? I thought you were allowed 1. I think in the Twin Snakes it's been lowered to 0 again to match like MGS2's. Because they brought over all the mechanics, a lot of the requirements are the same, but some of them got changed so that the Big Boss run feels more similar. So 0 kills, and I believe they dropped it from 1 ration to 0 as well. I'm not 100% on that though. But even in the original MGS1, you could only use 1 ration the entire playthrough. Ow. Whoa, that was weird. I was waiting for him to go up right there. Is that for Twin Snakes? 0 to 1 rations for Big Boss? Is that Twin Snakes or MGS1?
Hurry!
Playing all Metal Gears? Yeah.
I'll take the wheel.
Twin Snakes? Okay, so we do get 1.
Uh-oh.
I might save my 1 ration for the whole run for Vulcan Raven just so I can cheese him with the... Oh, I can't cheese him with the Stinger. Oh.
It's got keys. Let's go.
Oh, great.
Climb in. Let's go. Use the weapon button to fire that machine gun. Shoot back with it, Snake.
Better save the ration for this section. This section should be fine, because I can save it like as many times as I want in MGS1. And Twin Snakes. The Twin Snakes requirement is the same for saves, I think. Or, no, I think it is the same. I think you can still save basically as much as you want in this one. Thank God. Because MGS1 was like that. The limit for saves on the big boss run in the original is 80. Which is not as many times as you want, but it might as well be. It's really no different from just being save as much as you want to, because how are you even going to save 80 times in one playthrough? I think I saved like constantly and I still only hit 35 or so doing my big boss run. And I was like obsessively saving, like every other room sort of saving. And I got like 35. Ow. At least I'm not bleeding yet. I'll take it. Twin Snake's save limit is also 80. Perfect. That means I can spam save as much as I want on this one too. Yeah, that one's hard to get him. And then he gets me again here every time too. Or not. Took a sweet ass time on that one. Hunter, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Son of a bitch. This is the very end of it. So I think we made it. Unless he hits me right at the end. Yeah, we're good. The cutscenes in this game. Alright, big skip, and then the unskippable credits too. That also sucks for the time. Just for trying to like speed run through. Unskippable credits is a pain in the ass. This game, like MGS1 is so incredibly short skipping cutscenes though. It's kind of wild, because my first playthrough of this game was like, I don't know, 10 hours, I want to say, give or take. Like back when I did the review and was doing the codec and the cutscenes and all that. But doing dog tag grind takes me like 2.5 hours. This game genuinely is like 70% dialogue. Even MGS1. And it's so weird. No one ever talks about MGS1 being so cutscene heavy, but holy shit. It is insane. Once you actually get down to it. Only 70%? I feel like MGS 1 and 2 are both about 70%. MGS 4 is about 50-50. And then 3 is maybe like... it's hard to remember. I want to say that 3 is probably like 30 to 40%. I want to say 30 to 40. Chat, what if I took the opportunity to take a piss break during the unskippable credits? Hold on. I'm optimizing the run. Hold on. I'll be back in a minute. Feel free to get up, get a drink, snack, bathroom break, whatever. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Credits are still going. Oof. I was like, stock market closed 10 minutes ago. That's also something I could check. Hold on, I have to do math because the aftermarket swung back up. I'm down. Why am I so bad at math? $31.97. Did you wash your hands? No. Still need to do dog tag cleanup? Yeah, we've got 2 tags. One on very easy and one on easy that I have to go clean up still. Which sucks. We're still doing less playthroughs of this than MGS2 for dog tags though in total. So, I'll take it. My streamer is nasty. No, I've told you guys, if anyone ever asks me, I just say no at this point. Whenever someone in chat asks if I did, the default answer now is just no. Sure. Take that as you will. Wait, you guys are watching. Never mind. I was gonna... The Chol meet and greet is gonna be awkward as fuck. No handshakes whatsoever. What if I brought like hand sanitizer? And sanitized every single person that walked up just so they could be 100% sure. I'll do it right in front of each and every person. Bro, my hands would be like fucking... I would have like...
the type of life they want to live.
I'm trying to word this sentence. I'll have lost like an entire layer of skin by the end of that, just from all the rubbing alcohol.
That you choose life.
If I did do that, I would genuinely shed a whole layer of skin.
Yes.
Think about all the penis residue built up on that keyboard and mouse.
Yes.
Penis residue.
Thanks to the vaccine. Yes.
Won't
Those
clean
two
poop
are
off
still
your
alive.
hands? Hey, it kills 99.9% of germs. What about... It's still gotta apply to poop, right?
Soon. Right on schedule.
I think it would.
Yes, sir. I recovered all of Rex's dummy warhead.
That's what they all say. They all say 99.9%.
No, there are no
Like, I don't think I've ever bought a hand sanitizer that doesn't say 99.9, now that I'm thinking about it.
No, sir. My cover is intact.
In the future, I will have to watch for proof.
Yes, the DARPA chief knew my identity.
Chat, don't make her do that. I don't want her watching me every time I take a piss break. Just that she can report to you if I actually did or did not wash my hands. I don't want this.
After all. That's right.
Of germs, not fecal matter? What is fecal matter if not germs?
show you,
baby.
Of course, the other one thinks
Get the
so
fuck
too.
out my call right now.
Yes, sir. I agree completely.
You need a
Take
sync cam.
well-balanced individual such as yourself to rule the world. Yes. Yes, sir.
I'm not over
No,
penis
sir.
residue yet.
No one knows that you were the third one. Solidus.
Fucking penis residue.
What should I do about the woman? Yes, sir. I understand. The
A
surveillance
bidet
will
cam?
continue.
That is insane. That is crazy talk.
Yes. Thank you.
Bidet cam
Goodbye.
is not
Mr.
right.
President.
Alright. Tasmanian Devil. I don't know what that one even is. Oh, am I not? It's because I was just messing with my chat box, yeah. Oops. Okay. Let me go to the viewer. just so we can verify here. Okay, normal, clear, hard, clear, extreme, clear. Oh, I'm missing 2 on easy. That's actually kind of funny. And then very easy. We're just missing Mantis, like I thought. Let's do very easy then. Get that done. I thought I was only missing 1 more on easy. Is MGS 3 after you're done with this? Yup. Bogus Chris, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Yeah, MGS 3 after this one. So I'm gonna be so fresh on MGS 3 for Delta's release. Incredibly fresh. What about Acid? Acid was after 3. Acid comes right after 3. MGS 3 is baby easy though. I do agree. I absolutely agree with you that 3 is baby mode compared to the rest of the games. Awesome, yeah. M9 at the start. Oh, not my camera, my stealth camouflage. And we're going.
Freeze. Freeze.
No more dog tags with 3. That'd be so nice. Although, doesn't 3 have like the frog things? You gotta show your controller config for Dolphin. Mine's kind of fucked. Well, any controller config on Dolphin is kind of fucked because the GameCube controller was so unique that trying to make that work properly on like a new controller is kind of finicky. Because like the GameCube did have 4 face buttons, but the face buttons were very different from modern face buttons. So you kind of just have to go game by game with Dolphin. Like for my Twin Snakes config, I literally just have it to mimic MGS2's control scheme as closely as I can. That's all I did for Twin Snakes. Yeah, it depends on the game. You can't just have like one config that works for everything. Just because of the way that the GameCube's controller was. Yeah, it basically had the one big A button, and then there were like little face buttons above it and like slightly offset for the other 3. So trying to apply it to something like this generally is iffy.
There are only...
The bright dot in the middle is you, Snake.
Use the same config for Code Veronica? No, we're playing Dreamcast Code Veronica. I am a CVX denier. I don't fuck with CVX. I mean, I do. It's basically the same game, just I think CVX is the exact same game with slight downgrades. So I play the Dreamcast version whenever I replay CV. Oh my god, I can't lay down because of this bitch being perfectly in the way. Oh. Hard to set up controls for keyboard and mouse in this game because I don't have a controller. Oh yeah. Metal Gear on mouse and keyboard would feel a bit weird. Even MGS 5 I played on a controller, and I have no regrets. It played beautifully on controller. But I bet that game is probably really good on mouse and keyboard, just I didn't play it on that, so I wouldn't know. I probably will at least a little bit for 100%ing 5. I'll probably give it a go. Because typically the thing with that is like mouse and keyboard on games that weren't designed with it in mind is iffy. But if the game was like built from the ground up to support it, then mouse and keyboard normally is pretty great. For shooters. Specifically for shooters, I should say. I don't really like anything else on mouse and keyboard over controller. Except for like first or third person shooters. Those are the exceptions. I tried Gears Reloaded on mouse and keyboard. It was fine, but I think I'll use controller. Yeah, Gears 1 is like a good example. Because Gears 1, I'm sure mouse and keyboard feels fine. Like perfectly fine. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with it. But I imagine that Gears 1, especially for me, because I grew up playing it on Xbox, will just still feel more natural on a controller. Especially because, like, with Gears, all of the movement and, like, the weapon swapping and literally everything in that game is built around a controller. So even though the remaster is made with mouse and keyboard in mind, it might just still feel a little off by comparison. You know what I mean? Yakuza on mouse and keyboard is a crime. They literally tell you every time you boot up the game you should use a controller. True. I do feel like anything that's not a shooter, I prefer controller. Like, I'm trying to think of exceptions and I really can't. And even then, some shooters do play better on controller. Like, Resident Evil 5, in my opinion, plays way better on controller than mouse and keyboard. I massively prefer RE5 on controller. Same with 6, but then the RE engine Resident Evil games feel amazing on mouse and keyboard. Like 7 and onwards are like butter on mouse and keyboard. Armored Core? No, I've tried Armored Core 6 on mouse and keyboard. I don't like it. Controller all the way for that one too. 4 and 4 Remake? Yeah, RE4, I prefer controller. Original RE4, but 4 Remake, mouse and keyboard is incredible. So even with shooters, it's kind of down to the specific game, which is why I always like trying both. Oh, Armored Core on controller. Okay, I agree with you there. The Arkham games are better on keyboards? No way. I haven't tried them.
What are you waiting for?
On mouse and keyboard.
Don't talk to me like a rookie.
So I can't say.
I'm telling you.
But I don't believe it. Playing System Shock yesterday has me kind of itching to stream like something like more like old and weird PC games that are just awesome for being so unique like System Shock is. Like I said out loud yesterday, I was like, man, streaming Stalker would be a good time, wouldn't it? I think that would be a lot of fun. Know where these dog tags drop? We only need one. We only need the Psycho Mantis one for this run. Stalker Gamma? No, Shadow. I'm a diehard Shadow of Chernobyl player. The thing with Gamma is that it's really cool as like a sandbox experience. But I don't know, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't hit the same as playing just the retail Stalker games. I'm not as big on Gamma. It is really cool, like sandbox wise, if that's all you want, but it doesn't have that structure that I think really helps Stalker a lot, weirdly. Thinking about playing Zelda with mouse and keyboard. Don't know how it'll turn out. Depends on the Zelda. Like, I imagine the 2D games play great on mouse and keyboard because they're literally just like the 4 directional buttons and then like 2 buttons for attack or item. So I imagine those are great on mouse and keyboard. I can't think of how they wouldn't be. But when it gets to the 3D Zelda games, they're probably going to be more iffy. Gotta give it a chance. I've played it, like, extensively. I just prefer the retail Stalker games. Clear Sky is actually amazing. I can't believe people hate it so much. I like Clear Sky too. It's not my favorite by any means. I think it is my least favorite of the trilogy, but I like Clear Sky. I do. Wii games work great on mouse and keyboard. This is true. The Resident Evil Chronicles games, when I recorded my footage for them, I was using Dolphin with a mouse and keyboard setup. And just beautiful. Those games on mouse and keyboard, wonderful.
The amount, in other
I miss 2D Zeldas. I'm 60 hours into Breath of the Wild. I remember now that the combat late game is not worthwhile because enemies have more HP than the weapons they drop. Yes. Yes. The combat is a huge negative with the open world Zeldas. Because even just like at a mechanical level, beyond all the damage sponge bullshit, which is total bullshit, but even beyond that, like the mechanics just aren't fun for more than like a few hours. Once you've played a bit, you really get to the point where you're just kind of sick of the combat. Like it feels like a chore to fight things in those games. Made it to Pripyat like 10 times and just put it down. Yeah, I could see that. How about an Arma 3 stream? Man, I do like Arma 3. I haven't played Arma in years.
Snake.
Shit. By the end of the game are too easy. It's true. Just at the start of the game, like the window that you get for executing like the perfect dodges or the parries or whatever is so wide that you can kind of just do it. Granted, it's Zelda, so it's made to be very accessible for younger audiences as well. But yeah. It's a kid's game, yeah.
Nothing here.
I love Zelda, but yeah, I'll easily admit that it's a kid's game. Yeah. My man wants Souls like Zelda. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like the mechanics in that game aren't interesting. For a game that has you doing hundreds of hours of combat, if you're going for like 100% like I did, it has such boring combat, such uninteresting combat. And then the way that they try to like sidestep that is just by making the enemies take like 4 weapons worth of damage. And it makes it even worse. Zelda's best is a 20 to 40 hour adventure. Bro, I would say even less than that. Like Ocarina of Time 100% is like 30 hours, and that's perfect. Yeah, I've 100%ed Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And they definitely stand as two of the worst 100%s I've ever done in my life. Like, genuinely at the top of my list for worst 100%s. The other 3D Zeldas don't have super interesting combat either. I will genuinely, like, wholeheartedly sit here and argue, though, that the other 3D Zeldas had more interesting combat. Not saying they're great, but, and this is a larger issue with the open world games that I've bitched about a lot over the years. Not as much recently, but the thing is, the older Zelda games started you with very little, and then as you play and like clear dungeons or whatever, you slowly earn abilities, right? You get a little bit at a time. Like literally as you hit a milestone in the game, you get a new ability. And not abilities like what Breath of the Wild and Tears have with the powers, the 4 powers you get. Things like items, you know, the bombs, the hook shot, boomerang, whatever, right? Those things. And those change not just the way you interact with the world and open up more items that you can collect, but they also then introduce enemies that require you to use a specific item or tactic to beat them. Like, instead of just use whatever weapon you want and wail on them, and that's every enemy in the game, they would have enemies that are like, yeah, you get around the back of them and then throw a bomb at their back, sort of thing. Like, they would use those items for the combat once they got introduced. And the open world Zelda games are so afraid of having you not be able to do something as soon as you find it, that instead of taking that classic approach that worked so well, and for me at least was a big reason why I loved those games so much and the way they progress you through, they just give you everything within the first hour of the game, and then for 100+ hours beyond that point, you're just doing the same shit that you were doing in the second hour on loop. Like, genuinely, even compared to the original on NES, and fuck, even Zelda 2 on the NES, Breath of the Wild and Tears are like right there, tied for the worst progression in the Zelda franchise, because there is none. They just don't have progression. They have the shrines, but I've bitched about the shrines too and how unrewarding those feel once you start actually grinding them out. Like, they genuinely, they try to substitute it in some ways, but it just doesn't work. None of that new progression in the open world games really lands. It doesn't change the way you approach anything at all. You're just doing the same shit. Ocarina of Time, the GOAT. I agree. I spent so many years of my life as a Majora's Mask fanboy. Best. I thought Majora's Mask was the best Zelda game for so many years. And then I replayed both of them like a couple years ago, and I saw the light. Ocarina is the best. It is genuinely, at least for me when I replayed them just a couple years ago, Ocarina felt so much more like well-paced, well thought out. The exploration felt better. Majora's Mask has the vibes, and I just loved the vibes so much, and I still do. The general, like, atmosphere of Majora's Mask is insane. And yeah, it has shit like Fierce Deity and all that, but Ocarina is just so complete, so perfect. Aside from, like, the one bit where they literally just say, yeah, go find whatever the next thing is, and then that thing ends up being like a random well in Kakariko Village. That's the one thing in Ocarina that I'm like, yeah, that sucks. finding that, if you just don't remember or don't have a walkthrough or anything, is a pain in the ass because there's nothing in the game guiding you there. They genuinely just say like, yeah, go find the next thing. And that next thing doesn't trigger until you just randomly run up to this well in the town. That's the one thing in Ocarina that sucks. Oh, and the horse controls, yeah. Yes. Both MGS1 and Ocarina came out in 98. True. And Half-Life. And what else was huge in 98? Resident Evil 2. What else was 98? What a year. I want to say Legacy of Kain, right? Hold on. Best video games of 1998. What am I missing here? StarCraft? Parasite Eve? Thief the Dark Project? Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six? Crash Bandicoot Warped? Spyro the Dragon? Turok 2. Anything else in here that's like a big mention? The original Marvel vs. Capcom. Soul Calibur. Street Fighter Alpha 3 is definitely there. The original Baldur's Gate, Fallout 2, Banjo-Kazooie. What a fucking year, dude. So many classics that year. Unreal. Unreal was 98. Tomb Raider 3 was 98. Dude, remember when they fucking pumped out the Tomb Raider games? Is that right? I gotta check myself now. Tomb Raider 1. Yeah, was 96. And then Tomb Raider 2 was 97, right? Yes. And then Tomb Raider 3 was 98, I think. Yes. And was Tomb Raider 4 99? You're goddamn right it was. What about 5? Or, sorry, Chronicles. You bet your ass it was 2000. What about 6? Whatever they called that, I don't remember. Angel of Darkness. Oh, we don't talk about that. Oh, that was 2003. So, that was the first time that they took more than a year on a Tomb Raider game. Brood War was also 98. I can hold the Nikita. That's right. Don't forget Gex Enter the Gecko. Do those Gex remasters still suck ass? Just a quick check-in, because I've kind of been out of the loop on that one since it first started all going down. Are those Gex remasters still awful? I'm assuming they are, but I'm just checking. Probably. Vigilante 8? Which one was Vigilante 8? It sounds familiar. Like, I remember you telling me about it, False. Which one was that? Grim Fandango. Oh my god, it was the car game with the funky music. Yeah, you did tell me about this. Yeah, the car game that's not Twisted Metal, but definitely is Twisted Metal, but it's not Twisted Metal. But I mean, you look at it and you're like, yep, that's Twisted Metal, but not as good. Sorry to all my Vigilante
I'm a fertile motherfucker.
8 fans.
That's good, Snake.
Oh shit, I'm doing it too fast, but my kick missed anyway. Pokemon Red was 98? Yeah, it probably would have been, huh? No. 98? Venom, ban him. Mods, I want him gone. God damn it. Fatal Fury 2. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, 96. Okay. I was gonna say, Pokemon Red I thought was earlier. I was like, 98 feels way too late for Pokemon. I say way too late, and then it's like, oh yeah, 2 years makes sense, but the 90s was kind of like that. Retro games, what we now see as retro games, sorry, were, so much was happening so fast back then. Scroll up and saw a Banjo mention. We were talking about like everything big that came out in 98, like all the crazy games, just how stacked that year was. Banjo came out in 98. Shit. Oh, he's not done? What's wrong with Venom? Yeah, there's a theory that Venom Snake is Gray Fox. And it's a theory that's kind of fun, but when you get down to it, it really doesn't make much sense. And in my opinion, is very obviously not what was intended. But a lot of people, since that video dropped a couple months ago, have been like, oh, it's true. Venom was Gray Fox the whole time.
Meryl.
F-Zero-X. Good one. Best time in gaming is the decade between 96 and 2006. Yeah. Common consensus, Venom was the final boss in Metal Gear 1. Yeah, that's what is like actually intended. Like very obviously that's the actual intent story-wise, but Python Selkin dropped a theory video like maybe 2 or 3 months ago about how Venom Snake was actually Gray Fox. And it's been a shit show since, basically. Because a lot of people have started treating that theory as being true. As being like what Kojima intended. And it's insane. It is absolutely insane. Kojima told me during Pillow Talk I know you didn't pillow talk with him. Your feet aren't in Death Stranding. Proof, are they? This is not proof that they aren't. You have to prove that they are. See you around, hot sauce. Don't forget the tag. I won't. It's the whole reason I'm here. Sources, I made it up. Ain't gonna self-dox to prove I got my feet scanned. Uh-huh. And I'm not gonna believe they're in the game. Simple. Bitch. Those cutscenes, yeah, delay. The best line of the game? What's the best line of the game? There are so many crazy lines in that cutscene. Is it the one where she asks Snake if he's not into girls? Is that the best line in the game? Which one is the best line in the game? Trying to think of the funny ones. 2007 was a great year. I think 2007 is like easily one of those years that you can argue is like the greatest year for gaming, and almost no one will say that it's not. Unless they're bringing up like 98 or I'm trying to think. There are a couple other big ones. 98 is like one of those insane years. Why can I not think of the others? 2005 was pretty big. I wouldn't say it was 2007 big, but it was really big. 2007 is just crazy because so many of like the biggest franchises right now all started in 2007. Which just makes it such an insane year to look back on. And then yeah, like Halo 3 was in there as well, and God of War 2. Call of Duty 4 was the COD game that like actually made COD what it is and made it first blow up. Yeah, Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect, Portal,
Colonel.
Team Fortress 2, BioShock. Was Far Cry 3? Yeah, Far Cry 2 would have been 2007, wouldn't it? The first weird Witcher game. We don't talk about that one. I mean, I do. I actually liked it. But it is fucking weird. I won't deny it. Yeah, Stalker. Stalker's kind of a weird one to include in that because like Stalker nowadays has gotten so much love. I feel like everyone kind of knows about Stalker now, but man, when Stalker came out, that was some obscure Eurojank right there. Stalker has so heavily benefited from like word of mouth and the existence of gaming YouTube. It's one of those where like when it came out at first, because they didn't really have the marketing budget, it just like so few people knew about it when it came out. '98's the best if you look at variety. I don't know.
Snake,
Maybe.
what's wrong? I thought
Maybe
you were
so.
good
Like
with
Demon
dogs.
Souls, yeah. Demon Souls, I would say even more is probably mostly because of Dark Souls. That one is so well loved now. But yeah, Demon Souls. I don't think that tech is still working here. Half-Life 2 was 2004. Although I think maybe an episode came out, maybe like episode 2. That could have been 2007. Or the Orange Box, was that 7? That was probably 7. Episode 2. Okay, it was episode 2. When was the Orange Box? That was probably 07. I think. Yeah, okay, Orange Box was 2007. Top 20 games of 2007 are 75% FPS. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. That sounds about right. What in the fuck? Bro, this dog is crazy. Holy shit, and resilient. Go down. Oh my god. Wow. Hold on, that is a good question. Like the top 20 games of 2007. I would want to look at that list. Hold on. You guys know what? I have a fun question for you, chat. I was about to just say it myself, but I have a fun question for you. What do you guys think in the last decade, so between 2015 and now, has been the best year in gaming? The last 10 years, which one would you choose? I definitely know mine. But what would you choose, chat? The best single year in gaming in the last 10 years. What would you say? $2015 for me. 2016. I definitely know mine. 2023. 2017. Wait, can I just grab the trank gun and that's it? I don't need the... Why did I never think of that? I have the key card. 2015 is pretty great. I think that's a good pick. 2017? I feel like 2016 and 17 were both good. I can't think of much from 17 off the top of my head. But I bet if I look at it, 17 was really good. My year is 2023, though. I would also say 2023 for sure. The lineup in 23 was crazy. It was the first year in so long that I didn't like get to play everything I wanted to that year, because there was just so much coming out all at once that I actually didn't have the time to play all of it. And even like so much of what I skipped that year ended up being crazy bangers that everyone loved. And then most of what I played that year, oh god, I'm trying to keep my hair out of my fucking face, it keeps falling. Most of what I played that year was also bangers. Oh, the PSG one. Why'd I never think to just grab the tranked one? Where is it? It's one of these. There it is. Last few years have been fantastic in my opinion. I think they have been too. Even this year has already had 3 incredible bangers. Yeah. Hair out of your face is crazy. It does. It falls down because even like if you can't see a lot of it falling down, like I get a couple of the long strands in my face. I don't think people realize how long my hair is. Which I don't blame you. But like lengthwise, I don't think people know how long it is on top. From just like how it looks on camera. Cut it? It got cut like a couple months ago. I want to say. I don't know exactly when. Yeah, not that long ago I got it cut. I grow hair, dog. I really do. Shit.
I got her.
Line gets me every time. Yeah, Shenmue 3 was 2019. I think hair length is fine. Yeah, the length is part of why it falls. It's heavy. I also grow pretty thick hair. I just have to put it all up and to the back. Contain it. Sekiro was 19. 2-Make was 19. 19 was a really good one too, actually. Metro Exodus was 19. Just so happens that 2 of those bangers are my top 2 games of all time. Wow. RDR2 PC was 2019. That's when I first played it, because I waited for PC for RDR2. I'm glad I did, too. Because, man, the PC version of RDR2 is so far beyond the console versions. With, like, fidelity and everything. It's crazy. I'm very glad that I waited for PC for RDR2. It was so worth it.
She took my clothes.
Because even like the medium settings on the PC version look way better than what PS4 and Xbox One got. Turns out that the console versions of RDR2 were running on the game's like low settings. Hold on. Yeah, 2023 was insane. I talk about it a lot. Let me read you the top games of 23, chat. You ready? Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, Alan Wake 2, Street Fighter 6, Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2, Diablo 4, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Hi-Fi Rush, Armored Core 6, Dead Space, Starfield, Lies of P, Jedi Survivor, Dredge, Dave the Diver, Pikmin 4, Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, Cocoon, Pizza Tower, Hogwarts Legacy, System Shock Remake, Amnesia the Bunker, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Metroid Prime Remastered, and then most of the rest of it I'm not. New Forza, Atomic Heart, Remnant 2, Ghost Runner 2, Octopath Traveler 2,
I'm here.
Mortal Kombat 1. I had to scroll down a bit. Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. 2023 was an insane year. I feel like no one gives it enough credit for just how crazy it was.
That's better.
There was so much in 23. So much good stuff in 23. RDR2 doesn't need a remaster. Just give it a 60 FPS patch. I mean, even, like, I think RDR2 could use, like, an enhanced version for Series X and PS5, but even then, those systems aren't going to be able to max out the settings on base RDR2. So they probably just need to release a version that's optimized for higher settings, and that would be good enough. Because I couldn't max out RDR2 until I built this PC. Like, RDR2 was so future-proofed with its high-end settings that I'm only now just able to max it out.
You called Snake?
Well, yeah, at 60 FPS as well. That is a factor. How long did it take? 44 minutes to escape the prison cell. MGS1 is short once you know how to run through it, man. Holy shit. All right. It is about that time. It's a little over that time. But that's besides the point. I went a little bit over just to hit this point in the game. It's a good point to call it at. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy and you haven't done so already, feel free to go ahead and leave a sub, follow, whatever. Come back another time. We're doing all sorts of stuff, all sorts of good stuff. Like Yakuza, Resident Evil, Ace Combat, obviously this. It's all good shit. I'm probably going to play more System Shock 2 because people seem to enjoy that, and I really enjoy that, so we'll probably be doing more of that soon with that new remaster. Come back for any of it. Also, if you enjoyed and you haven't done so already, feel free to go ahead and leave a like on the YouTube side. Helps out with algorithm a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you if you've done so already. Thank you if you're about to do so. If you're looking for links to anything outside of Twitch or YouTube to engage with the community, check out links in the description below. Things like Twitter, Discord server, whatever, those are down there. If you're on Twitch, they're on the channel page. They're in chat commands. You'll be able to find them. Other than that, though, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to see you always back here next time. Thank you again for the supers and stuff today. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Thank you for coming to the stream, and goodbye.